Good morning. It's my pleasure to introduce today's speaker, Brittany Hart, a proud member of the class of 2009. Britt is a beloved Brooks alumna for whom athletics played a central role, not only during her time here, but well beyond. I was lucky enough to be Britt's softball coach back then, and I feel even luckier now to coach the current team with her by my side. During her 3 years at Brooks, Britt earned an impressive 8 varsity letters and was a standout member of the soccer, basketball, and softball teams. She served as captain of the basketball team in both her 5th and 6th form years and captained the soccer and softball teams as a 6th former. A phenomenal athlete and a fierce competitor, Britt was deeply respected by her coaches and teammates. If you ask anyone about Brooks softball in the late 2000s, her name and her pitching will surely come up. In the spring of 2009, after a game in which Britt struck out 19 batters, I'm going to digress for 1 second. I do believe it's a record-setting stat. There are 21 outs in a softball game, and Britt, as the pitcher, got 19 of those 21. Sadly, it has a funny twist. She also hit a home run in that game, yet we lost 2-1 on an error. We haven't quite gotten over it. But it's still quite an impressive accomplishment. Anyway, after that game, then assistant coach, Madam Softball, Janelle Reese, said, "The only word to describe Britt as a softball pitcher is dominant. She is an outstanding competitor, remaining calm in the toughest spots, coming up with the big strikeout when we need it most. She is also a patient and kind teammate, willing to work with those who are not her equal in talent." Britt received many accolades during her time at Brooks, including ISL MVP and All-League honors, and was named to the Boston Globe and Boston Herald All-Scholastic teams. She broke the school's career strikeout record, finishing with an astonishing 652 strikeouts. At graduation in 2009, Britt was awarded both the Athletic Prize and the Frank D. Ashburn Athletic Award. Britt went on to compete at the Division I level at Bryant University as a member of their softball team. During her collegiate career, she played in 101 games, made 68 starts, and tallied 185 career strikeouts. As impressive as her statistics and accomplishments are, what truly set Britt apart was her character. She consistently put the team above herself and led by example, both on and off the fields. She was, and still is, the epitome of a team player. Many of her former teammates and lifelong friends are here today and can speak firsthand to her impact as a teammate and a friend. One of the greatest joys of teaching and coaching is the opportunity to build lasting connections with students. There's nothing more rewarding than seeing those relationships grow into collegial ones. And getting to coach alongside a former student athlete is a privilege I treasure. I am extremely fortunate to share that experience with Britt. Today, we are lucky to have her here with us as a coach, a friend, a mentor, and of course, as our Kippy Little Day speaker. Following chapel, we invite all adult members of our community, as well as the members of the girls' soccer, basketball, and softball teams, to join in the admissions waiting room for a small reception in Britt's honor. Please join me in warmly welcoming Britt Hart.
How's that, Mike? All right. Don't mind my waddle up to the microphone here. I was nailed with a line drive by Kylie Matola in practice on Tuesday and broke my toe, so I'm still suffering those consequences. But good morning. And thank you, Heinze, for that lovely introduction. It's been a blast to coach alongside you the last 6 years. I'm really excited to be here with all of you today. I remember looking forward to this day every year as we honored Kippy in women's sports. Through her life and legacy, Kippy has inspired so many students, especially women athletes, and I feel honored to share my story with you all. Brooks, and specifically Brooks Athletics, have a special place in my heart, and they were instrumental in shaping the person that I am today. Sports have always been a huge part of my life. Growing up in my family, it was hard to escape them. I spent countless hours at my older brother and sister's games, and from a young age, I started playing on my first teams. I was super fortunate to have 2 parents who were very invested in my sports journey. I can probably count on one hand the number of games they missed over the years, And even today, my dad has kind of become the grandfather of Brooks softball, coming to all our games and helping where he can. Through my family's guidance and support, I really dove into playing soccer, basketball, and softball. Each of these sports helped me find my passions. I loved competing and being a part of a team. On the field is where I came alive, where I had coaches who made huge impacts on my life, and where I met lifelong friends. While I am an extremely competitive person, the softball team can attest, to me, sports are about more than just games. They are a testament to our human spirit, a celebration of teamwork, and a powerful tool for mental well-being. I believe sports teach us invaluable lessons about discipline, perseverance, and resilience. They push us to our limits, challenge us to overcome obstacles, and inspire us to strive for excellence. Whether it's the thrill of victory or the lessons learned in defeat, sports shape our character and help us grow. But sports are not just about individual achievement. They are about being part of something greater than ourselves. Being a part of a team means working together towards a common goal, supporting each other through the highs and lows, and celebrating each other's successes. It's about trust, camaraderie, and the unbreakable bonds that form when we face challenges together. In a team, we learn that we are stronger together than we could ever be alone. The importance of sports stuck with me as I entered high school and came to Brooks. My teams were where I found myself and my place within this community. I always envied my classmates that had academic achievements, and while I did fine in school, I wasn't winning any academic prizes at the end of the year. Those were not mentioned in the introduction. And often joked that the only distinction I would get at graduation would be in softball. I also have a huge appreciation for music, art, and theater, but while I wish I could act and sing, you wouldn't want me on stage with you, so athletics is really where I found my place. Some of my fondest memories from high school were on the fields and courts at Brooks. When I look back, it's great to remember the big wins, and some of the losses still hurt, but it's the teams I was a part of that I remember the most. It's the team breakfasts, the pregame rituals, and most definitely the bus rides to away games. It was knowing that every day I could put aside anything going on in my life, show up to practice, and have some fun. It was the support we had for one another. It was where I formed lifelong friendships with my teammates, and where down the line, some coaches turned into friends. I was fortunate to go on to play softball in college, and again, it was where I found my place on campus. College athletics is its own animal. When you're practicing 4 hours a day, every day of the week, you better believe that team culture is important. Again, I was extremely lucky to have had such amazing teammates, and when I look back at my college career, it's my team that I remember the most. Sure, I also think of horrible conditioning sessions, ice baths in the middle of winter, and having to face some of the best hitters in the country. But what I know for certain is that I would not have been able to face or get through any of the tough times without the support of my team. We understood that we trained our entire lives to play at that level, and we would support each other through all the highs and lows. We picked each other up on the hard days and were each other's biggest cheerleaders on the best days. While there were countless memories and achievements on the field, it's those teams that I hold close to my heart all these years later. Softball was a huge part of my life through college. When I graduated, I felt a pretty big loss. I remember walking off the field after my last game, looking at my parents and saying, "Now what?" I began working, and while I really loved my career in marketing, I missed having sports as a part of my everyday life. Well, fast forward 6 years later, and I get a call from Heinz. I joined her that spring for my first season and loved being back on the Brooks campus and specifically on the softball field. What I didn't know at that time was how important this team would become to me and how much it would impact my life. Going into the 2022 season, I didn't know how much I was going to need this team. For some quick background, I got married when I was 27, and 3 years later, in March of 2022, my marriage was falling apart. Now, this speech is not about divorce, and I don't share these details for sympathy. I know people go through way worse things, but I share this because of the impact that it had on my mental health. I can remember after our first indoor practice, before spring break, and before we took the team to Florida. I pulled Hines into the wrestling room. She listened as I word vomited as much as I could into a 5-minute conversation. I told her, I am not okay, but I will be okay. I need you to know because our trip is next week, we're sharing a room, and I'm going to be crying. She gave me a huge hug and told me she had my back. Now, if you had told me in high school that when I was in my 30s and going through the hardest thing I had ever faced, that the only people that knew would be my immediate family and Hines, I probably wouldn't have believed you. However, I will forever be thankful to have had her during that time and beyond. I felt as if my life were falling apart. As spring break came and went and the softball season was underway, I became extremely depressed. I wasn't sleeping, but I couldn't get out of bed. I took time off work, and I even found myself at the hospital because my anxiety was so bad, I thought that there was something wrong with my heart. I was barely holding it together. However, through all of that, the thing that got me up and out of the house every day was Brooks softball. As an athlete, it was ingrained in me to not give up on my team. So every day, I came to Brooks and tried to just focus on practice. I knew that all my problems would be waiting for me when practice was over. I allowed myself to focus on what we were working on, enjoy being outside, and have some fun with the team. And you know what? Practice and our games were the only relief I had from my personal life at that time. It's not that I forgot what was happening, but for those 2 hours every day, I could put it aside, focus on something else, and give myself a break. If anyone here has experienced any sort of anxiety or depression, you know it's hard to escape your own thoughts. Sometimes you can think about a certain situation over and over and over again, and you can really drive yourself crazy. I couldn't escape my mind or what was going on in my life. It was all-consuming, except when I was on the softball field. The team obviously did not know what I was going through. Hines did, as I said. So showing up to practice, hearing about their days, watching them work hard, and really come together as a team was good for my soul. Once again, sports and the team I was a part of were where I felt at home and provided me with support. Having an outlet and community is incredibly important for our mental health. Whether it's sports, arts, music, or academics, finding something you are passionate about can provide a much-needed escape from the stresses and challenges of life. Engaging in activities you love allows you to take a break from your problems, clear your mind, and find joy during the difficult times. It helps you maintain a sense of balance and perspective and can be a powerful tool for coping with anxiety, depression, or other mental health issues. Your passion can be your source of strength and resilience, helping you navigate through life's ups and downs. And being a part of a team provides a sense of belonging and community, which is essential for our emotional well-being. Teams have always been a foundation in my life. They give us a support system, a group of people who understands us, and a safe space to express ourselves. Even though the girls did not know what was happening in my life, that team and the support they had for one another were instrumental in getting me through a really, really hard time. Brooks softball was my escape, and what showed me that I could be happy amidst a lot of sadness. The point in sharing all of this is to emphasize how both finding your passion and being a part of a team can have a positive impact on your life. Life will inevitably throw challenges your way, but finding something that drives you can make all the difference. Having an outlet allows you to take a break from your problems and recharge, and being a part of a team can be equally as important, as they provide a sense of purpose and community and can help you navigate the tough times. So, I encourage each of you to find what you are passionate about, embrace it, and let it be your source of strength, comfort, and happiness. Remember, your problems will be waiting for you when practice or a game are over. Give yourself and your mind the opportunity to take a break. My love for sports and the strength of team bonds have been a foundation in my life, helping me through all the highs and lows. Sports have shaped my character and provided me with invaluable experiences and relationships. They have shown me the power of teamwork and the strength that comes from being part of something greater than myself. They have been my sanctuary and my guiding light through the darkest times. Know that the impact of sports, or whatever your passion may be, will extend far beyond your years at Brooks. The lessons I learned here and the bonds I formed continue to influence my life in profound ways. I am so grateful for the role that sports have played in my life. They have not only helped me find my passion and achieve my goals, but provided a foundation for my mental well-being. The impact of sports is enduring. It reminds us that we are never alone. Sports are more than just games. They are a testament to our resilience and a celebration of what we can achieve together. Thank you.